Hello, I'm Rico Cavella. Welcome to Fearless Aging, where in every episode, my guests and we strive to offer you proven tips and strategies that you can implement immediately to greatly improve your overall health and well-being. So we're here to inspire you and empower you to become your best self so you can go out and make a bigger positive impact in the world. So before I introduce today's episode and our expert guest, I have a question for you. If you've been wondering how well you are aging, well, I have the solution for you. Go to my main website, agelessliving.lifestyle.com, and take our free aging assessment. And if you don't like the results, right there you can book a call with me and we'll have a friendly conversation and discuss the challenges that you're having. And I'll give you some quick and easy solutions that'll get you going on the right track. So, the title of today's episode is, well, I lost the track where I wrote it down. Okay. The title of today's episode is Transformational Journey to Heart Health from Fearful to Fearless. So, this is going to be such an informative and great episode because heart health is so important. And our expert guest is Peter Weinberg. He's a life and a heart and a health coach. He is an author, speaker, educator, entertainer, life, heart, health, and tennis coach as well. Today, Peter shares his experts through books, his new Rhythm of Wellness Heart Health course, which we're going to talk about today, and dynamic speaking engagements. His mission is clear: to help people dramatically reduce the risk of heart disease, prevent disability and premature death, and gain the freedom to live their healthiest life. So, Peter Wimberg, thanks so much for being here.
Very honored to be here. Thank you for having me, Rico.
Yeah, this is such an important topic, as you well know. I think our audience probably knows too. Still, I think heart attack and death by heart attack is still the number one killer of most people in America. So this is such an important topic. So how about let's start just to briefly tell us your journey and how you became so interested in heart health.
Well, I think the journey really began about 15 years ago. My father's brother, my uncle, collapsed at the Houston airport of a heart attack and a stroke, and he ended up in a wheelchair.
Mm.
And I was so curious as to why that happened. I used to see him on family parties and affairs, and you get reminded, what's going on. And he worked very hard to keep his weight down. He was always exercising. And so that was a real mystery to me. And then in 2016, about 7 years later, my first cousin collapsed at work and he had an aortic dissection. And he ended up in a wheelchair after having several open heart surgeries. And I remember vividly, I got an email from my aunt, September of 2016, saying, pray. And I don't know what's going on. And then a couple weeks later, it was October 2016. I had a little bit of pressure on my chest. Um, in fact, it was going on for several years. And my father said, get in the car, let's go to the emergency of the Montreal Heart Institute. And so I discovered I was born with heart disease. I needed urgent major surgery. I had a couple years left to live, and I was at the highest risk of having a heart attack. And as a 57-year-old,
Wow.
non-smoking, non-drinking, multi-sport, fit, elite athlete, to be at the edge of death came as a complete shock to me. And
Yeah.
so that was the beginning, really, of my journey.
Yeah. I think the message here is even even if you think you're healthy and you're doing well, you never know what can happen next. It could happen like I say, it can happen to anybody if it happens to someone like yourself. So it's so important to get educated about how to take care of your heart. And also, I think as we'll get into it, but I just want to say the message is even like you do, Peter. Even if you're born with congenital are you're predisposed to heart disease, it's not so much about your genes, it's about your lifestyle, what makes the biggest difference.
Right. I'll never forget, I got a call from my cousin a week before my surgery, which was August of 2017. And he said, Peter, if I had to share a message with the world, inspire them to get an echocardiogram done so they could actually know what's going on inside your body. This is really a significant change in how we think. If we knew what was going on inside our bodies and
Mhm.
live this lifestyle, Rico, that you talked about, wouldn't we live with a reduced risk of having heart disease, right? I
Yeah.
this your podcast is all about reducing that risk of disease. So, and for those people that I encountered that said, "Oh, I'm not going to get an echocardiogram. My doctor won't let me. I just use my little trick here and just put your hand on your chest and tell your doctor, you got a little bit of pain." And said, "I think I need an echocardiogram," and just get it. Look, it could save your life. The pain of going through some minor surgeries to prevent a major disaster is insignificant compared to disability or premature death, of course. So I really wanted to inspire people to get on the journey to their heart health, their freedom, and their happiness, because I'm the only member of my family who's had a heart situation and that have my freedom.
Well, tell us how. Okay, so then I see how you realize that you wanted to get you educated and really learn how to create a healthy heart. So how did you learn that, and what did you do to get your heart in much better shape?
That's a great question. The first thing I'd say is I really took my heart for granted. I'd say, like a lot of people are taking their heart and their heart health for granted. We're born with our heart health freedom, but not our financial freedom. So the system encouraged us to go out and get our financial freedom. And so I really wanted to encourage people to bring that balance. And as I didn't really know much about my heart, the most important part of my physical body, I really didn't know much about. And I embarked upon a journey to find a book. I couldn't really find a book, so I ended up writing my own book, the one that I wanted, which was it's just a basic introductory guide to you know to the to the humble beginnings of the things that you need to know about your heart. And so just knowing about your heart, knowing how your heart operates, will significantly reduce your risk of heart disease. Um, I would say my journey really began 3 months after my valve surgery. Rehab began with a blood test, and I got reminded how bad my cholesterol was. And I went on a journey uh, for 2 years following my surgery. I was meeting with about a dozen doctors, dietitians, and nutritionists, trying to get them to help me to lower my cholesterol. And I really couldn't find anybody to help me with great success. And as I was invited to speak on live TV in Montreal just before COVID, I was inspired to create a website, and I built this website called myhearthandbook.com, and it's a whole bunch of YouTube videos. And I started reading and learning about heart disease awareness and prevention, and I came across the work of Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, who said, if you go on a plant-based diet for 2 weeks, you could normalize your cholesterol. And I said, that's impossible. So December 1st of 2019, you'll never guess what happened, Rico. I tried it and I had a blood test done. I stick right to the plan. I like to tell people I went cold turkey, but somebody said I should say cold celery. I went cold celery onto a plant-based diet. And wouldn't you know it, I normalized my blood cholesterol after 30 years of the same diet, 30 years of being on statins, which never worked for me.
Yeah, and they're
I
dangerous.
changed and I broke, the family barrier. We're all eating the same foods. And so a lot of people would say that it's hereditary. Peter, you have high cholesterol because it's in the family. Well, the truth is it is somewhat hereditary, but it's mostly based on lifestyle and diet. And if we're all eating the same foods, chances are we're all going to end up with the same cholesterol package, right? So that's kind of how my journey began, Rico.
Yeah, well, I know too. I want to let our audience know that your heart health handbook is free, and they can, and we'll put that website address in the show description where they can go there and get a copy of.
Sure.
I read your book. That'd be great. And so okay, so you really begin to study and learn all the things that it needs to. to create a healthy heart. And so now you decide to create a new program, a 8-week program called the Rhythm of Wellness Heart Health Coach. So that's something I'm really interested to find out what's all involved there and how it's going to help people. And so I'm going to take we're going to take a 60-second short break to have a short message from our show sponsor, and we'll get right back with Peter Weinberg. To try a sample pack of low-acid, healthy, cafe pure coffee with a 25% discount, go to livepure.com/ageless coffee and click on Cafe Pure at the top, and you can order your sample coffee. And I'm quite sure you're going to love it. All right, we're back with Peter Weinberg. I just want to say, you're probably already drinking coffee, so why not try some really healthy coffee? This coffee has cordyceps mushrooms, which enhances your immune system and also improves your cognitive function as well. And it's real tasty, so give it a try. So, Peter, first of all, before we get into your new program, I really want to compliment you, for dedicating yourself to getting this information out and to help other people avoid heart disease. So I just want to compliment you for doing that. You're doing some great work. And then I say then putting together this whole Rhythm of Wellness Heart Health course. So tell us all about it, how it came about, and what some of the components.
Well, it didn't start like this, Rico. It started out as a cold turkey or a cold celery program. Its predecessor was um, Heart Health Mastery, and so I really wanted to inspire people to kind of follow on my journey. And I found that most people were really not interested in making radical changes, and so I needed to have a different approach. So the Rhythm of Wellness is. Is a combination of my personal life. It's a combination of things that I've learned at the Institute of Nutritional Endocrinology. By the way, I'm an accountant by profession, and now what I've really found, in what I believe is really my calling, is there's a big gap between Medicare and healthcare, and so I really believe that the healthcare is a developing area of we'll call it the Medicare system. And so I think there is a great opportunity for us to take care of our own health. And a lot of us know what to do, but we're just not doing it. And I asked myself, well, why? And then it came to me and I said, well, I think a lot of us, and I kind of reflect on myself, we're kind of disconnected. The food choices and the lifestyle choices we're making is really just from our mind's memory of everything we've done, everything we've eaten over our life. So, should I have a cheeseburger, fries, a steak, a hot dog, or whatever? And so, the rhythm is really the rhythm of your whole self. It's the rhythm of your body, your heart, your mind, your spirit. I'm an avid reader of Stephen Covey, and he says that we really need to be all in. We really need to have our whole self in our life. And so it kind of came to me. It took a few years for this to register and put everything into place. But if you had the energy of your body, your heart, your mind, your spirit, and your soul all competing for that lifestyle choice, compared to just the smaller energy of your mind, you would have uh, you would have a significant chance to make better choices. And so, what that's the rhythm of your whole self, instead of just part of yourself. And the wellness is is really defined into three parts. So, ideal wellness is split into really what you think, what you eat, and what you do. And so, why is it that people go on a diet and they don't succeed because it's just what they eat. It's not what they think, right? And they're not doing enough. Or people just going to the gym, they're not thinking enough and they're not eating. So it's the balance of what you think, what you eat, what you do in terms of ideal wellness, combined with connecting your whole self in. And so I've been modeling this with one of my favorite students who actually lost 92 pounds uh, in the last year between April of 2024 and end of November 2024. And I was totally astounded at how she was able to not just to lose the weight, but to just to keep it off. And so this is a life change. It's not really a lifestyle change because once you have where this journey begins with what I call spiritual heart health, where you connect your heart to your soul. Once you bring another voice into the game, into changing your lifestyle, literally everything changes. And once you awaken the giant within you, your soul, you're literally never ever going to be the same person. And I should share this. One of the great secrets of changing, one of my mentors told me, turn it's like a radio dial. Turn down the volume on your mind and
Hmm.
turn up the volume on your soul.
Hmm.
Just try that. It really works. And now you're making lifestyle changes, lifestyle choices from a whole different energy source within you. And it's really life changing.
I just want to add to that, and the way you do that is by through meditation. Is really the best way to do it. Is to slow your mind and take time out, and as you say, slow that mind chatter, and then connect to your higher self, to your soul. And one more thing before you go on is I want to say what we're talking about is the point that you need to know is that what we call a healthcare system is really a sick care system. They try and take care of you when you're sick. They're not out there to try and make you and show you how to stay healthy. So that's why this is so important to take responsibility, like you're showing people that they got to take responsibility to create good heart health and wellness. Because, like say, our medical system they're just about treating you. They're not about how to prevent it or how to take care of yourself. So that's an important thing that people need to understand. Yeah, you agree?
Yeah, no, I would definitely add to that. In fact, I had a consultation with my heart surgeon 6 months before my surgery. And so I had a heavily calcified aortic valve that wasn't opening and closing. And I said to my surgeon, I said, "Hey, doc, I had a great idea." I said, "Well, what if you were just to remove the plaque from my valve? I wouldn't need the surgery." And I'll never forget his answer. He said, "Modern science is not there yet." And 6 years after that, I actually discovered the secret work of three scientists who won the Nobel Prize for 1998 for their work in nitric oxide, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
and so there are things that we can be doing not just to reduce the plaque in our body, but there are things we could be doing to reduce our plaque and our inflammation. And
right.
so that's just not part of the medical system, right? It's just not part of the way things are being done now. And so uh, I think that there's a lot of information. There are a lot of studies that have been done in that field. And so to me, the future of healthcare is self-care. And believe me, we need the Medicare system because for situations like what I went through, I would not be here today if it wasn't for the Medicare system.
Yeah,
So for emergencies, for injuries, for accidents, for people who are not taking care of themselves, yes, you're going to have to get out of that condition, and hopefully we can inspire people to start thinking about healthcare. Remember, wellness is one third what you think. So,
yeah,
can you change the way you think about your health? Can you change the way you think about your heart health? And can you go on this journey now to proactively prevent disease?
yeah.
And if you can get into that state of mind, guess what?
You can do
You
it.
can go from fearful
To
to
fearless.
fearless.
Right.
Yes, that's what I
Okay.
like.
Okay, Peter. Well, we only have about maybe 5 minutes left, so tell people a little bit more about what they can expect if they want to take your 8 week program. So what's all involved and what will they do during those 8 weeks?
Well, it's actually we're going to launch our first beta course. So we've been testing this and modeling it for quite a few years. So this is an 8 week program that we're actually going to go through the journey of yourself. We're going to go through spiritual health, emotional health, mental health, and physical health. We're going to break that down into 8 weeks. And each week, this is actually a game changer. One of my mentors said to me, the human mind in its normal state can only do one thing. And so I thought to myself, what could I do that could be really different? So each week, we're just going to learn one word. And so one word in week one is connection. The whole week one is, can you really focus on connecting, your heart to your soul? And so we're going to do a pre-event where we're going to talk to you about the things that you're going to need. So as the future of healthcare is self-care, we're going to talk to you about the program. We're going to talk to you about the things you need to prepare for the program. You're going to need a scale. You're going to need a glucose meter and a excuse me, and a blood pressure machine. So those are the three biggest contributors to heart disease. So it's obesity, it's elevated blood pressure, and elevated glucose. And then on week 10, we're going to have a results week. We're going to have everybody sharing the results. But what's really cool about this program is you're going to make some lifestyle changes in any given week, and you can get on your scale, you can get on your blood pressure machine, you can use your glucose meter, and you can measure your success the same day or the next day. And you could see results rather than waiting for a doctor to tell you something. You can now get on this journey. So I think it's really spectacular. We're going to be bundling in a bunch of stuff in there, including, I think one of the greatest things is I'm going to be offering some free, unlimited coaching during the program, and I'm going to be guaranteeing results or your money back. So that's kind of the highlight of the program. And so just the hardest part about your health is being awakened to your health and not taking your health for granted and knowing I have to do something to fearlessly age, to prevent disease. I have to start my journey, right? And the greatest journey you can go on is the journey of your heart's health. I believe it's really your path to freedom. And so, what's the greatest way you can start going in the direction of your heart health? It's lowering your weight, lowering your blood pressure, and lowering your glucose, right? And if you are moving in that space, you are going to feel so proud of yourself. You're going to feel so happy. You're going to know that you're on this path to heart health, freedom, and happiness. And to me, this is life's highest and most important goal. It is the foundation of our life. If you have your health, you literally can do anything you want. And so why should anybody want to get on this journey? Because if you have your health, you can live the life of your dreams.
Who would you say that who would you say that your ideal uh, uh, person that you'd love to have in this program? Who do you think really needs to be in this program?
Well, look, I can really say if I had a choice, I'd probably want to have somebody who kind of mirrored my life, who was, in business, who was working. You're either a business owner, or a busy profession, or business owner, or a busy professional, and you've invested decades into your life, into your business, and you've of course been somewhat successful in your career, and you're at that crossroads where you want to start transitioning into more balance, into more health, and you're seeing that the generation ahead of you are getting sick or dying, losing their freedom, right? So, alternatively, we can also look at people who have those key risk factors and people who are not happy with the medical system. Those surgeries or the drugs are not working, and they're looking for some alternative solution.
Mhm.
So, and of course, people who just want to have their health and they don't know what to do, and so it's very demoralizing to be in a position where you are sick, like I was, and I didn't know if I was going to be alive. I went into a really a state of loneliness and depression and hopelessness. And I believe that the rhythm of wellness is going to give people the inspiration and the encouragement to start the greatest journey of their life. It's the journey to your heart's health, and I really think it's the path to your freedom. And so it's your spiritual heart health, your emotional heart health, your physical heart health, um, and your mental heart health. Everything is connected through your heart. And because I come from an accounting, business, and finance, I'm bringing some of the business.
Peter, Peter, we're just about out of time. So
Okay.
that was well said. We know
Yeah.
who, and so as always, we bring you lots of great information and wisdom, but you got to step up and take action. So we'll put all the description how you can contact Peter and find out all about his courses. So thanks for being here, and tell your friends about the Fearless Aging TV show. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rico.